So we just attacked Iran. Now let me make something abundantly clear. The people in Iran who are living under a tyrannical government, I feel for you. I do. I debated a couple of Iranians or people who were pro-Iran. And my sentiment was we need to worry about ourselves first. Um, Revolutions are ugly. Uh, the American Revolution, we lost about 7,000 Americans, basically soldiers. And back then there was like 2.6 million Americans, or pre-Americans about to become Americans. If you put the rates together to now, that would be around 600,000 people nowadays, with our population. So I know they got like 50,000 people massacred, which I said is horrible, but you have that's the price you pay when you want to rebel. And if American has a second revolution against its own government, that's the price that we'll have to pay as well. Loss of American lives. So I voted for Trump 1, 2, 3 times. I thought like this was gonna be such an awesome regime. I thought, I was so excited. We got Kash Patel in there for the FBI director. Dan Bongino. I thought those were great hires. These Maga guys. I thought that we got all these more Congress members, some Senate people, pro MAGA, pro make America great again, America first. Well, Dan Bongino's out of there. Not even a year, he's out of there. Now he's on here. He's back here doing what I'm doing. Was he complaining about the system when he was in the system? Fucking joke. Kash Patel, he's leaving too. We stuck up for these people. I was called Nazi, racist, bigot constantly for defending Trump. And I thought, man, he has definitely got to be the chosen one, dude. He just, like, God or the universe was like, we need to get him in there, because I'm not a Democrat. I can't stand Kamala, and I don't like anyone that they have at all. There really isn't anyone that I really appreciate on their side. And what am I saying on their side? I'm not on the Republican side. I'm on either side at this point. In 2016, when Trump got in there, he got the House and the Senate as well, the majority of them both, and they fought against him. We wanted a wall. We elected you people to put a wall in for us on the southern border, and you guys on the GOP fought against Trump. You fought against him. And now, at the same time, you send right around the same amount of money to Israel every year. Like, what, 13 billion? These fucking welfare sponges. We got people out here at my level struggling to get by in this economy. And this isn't nothing new. we've been struggling for like the last couple decades. I've been in the workforce for like 27 years, and I've been struggling the whole time. It doesn't matter who's in charge, Republicans or Democrats. I hated George Bush. Um, I hated his father. I hated the Republicans. And I thought, wow, I was a liberal dude. I was all about. I thought Bill Clinton was cool. I didn't, you know, when you're young, you're a liberal or whatever. Um, and the liberals were different, and it was like the '90s Republicans. If you listen to 90s Democrats, if you listen to some of the Democrats, they sound like Maga. They sound like America First people. They sound like common sense people, and then they talk now, and they just have a completely different radical message. And you look at Trump and everything like that, and you're like, wow, you get it. I relate. I relate to a lot of things you're saying, and I think that maybe at first he was, for making America great again, or America first. And I want to say this too, when I say America first, I'm not America only. I'm just America first, fix our problems first before we try to fix other people's problems. That's basically where I'm at with that. It's not, no, we need to make everything ourselves. We need to do it and just cut everyone off. It's not like that. It's no, it's fix our problems first, because we have too many problems here to worry about other people's problems. And that's why I say, if your house is on fire, you're not going to go, and somebody else's house is on fire, you're not going to go try to put their house out on, a couple blocks away. You're not going to go over there and try to help fight their fire while your house is on fire, knowingly your house is on fire. You're going to try to put your own house out, right? And that's where my sentiment comes from, America first. And I think that all countries should have that. They should put their country first. They should try to fix their problems first if they try to help other people out. I'm really sick of Israel. I'm sick of their shit. I'm sick of them abusing and using Christians. I'm sick of them thinking that they're the chosen ones. They're not the chosen ones. If you follow the Bible, the people who follow Christ are the chosen ones. They might have been the chosen ones back in Moses, but we're a long ways away from when Moses came to, like, when Moses took the people, he exiled them out of, he got them out of slavery, out of bondage, left Egypt. We're a long ways from that. And according to the Bible, if you don't follow Christ, you go to hell forever. So they are not the chosen ones, unless they follow Jesus. And this is where Christians get things messed up. They're like, oh, the chosen ones, because I don't know who put that in there. Like I said, they probably were the chosen ones at one time, but they're not anymore, according to the New Testament, according to Jesus. And a lot of these people reject Jesus. Why am I going to work? Why do we work? Why do we pay taxes? Why do we keep this machine going forward? What is the point at this point? Like, what are we doing? Just so we can blow other people up? It feels like our government oppresses our own people. It feels like our government is the enemy. Our government is the New World Order. I'm not out here advocating for any type of violence or anything like that. I've been outspoken, even though I don't have any type of a reach, but I still have been outspoken uh, when I feel like it's needed. I'm sure I was put on a watch list for being a MAGA person, which I'm not anymore. I actually haven't been for a while. Whenever Trump said fuck you to me, after everything I've been through, trying to support, defend that guy, after he said that in like June or July, because I wanted what he campaigned on, the release of the Epstein list, he said he turned his back on people like me. And, as time went on, there's things that he did that I liked and I supported him. And I'm a pragmatic person. If this war turns out to be something that is a quick thing, that's not another Iraq, just a quick thing, kind of like a Venezuela, boom, 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 boom. We don't go into World War III. We don't have nuclear exchange. I'm wrong. I want to be wrong. I hope I'm wrong about everything. I want to be wrong about Trump. I hope he proves me wrong. I'm not, I want to have egg on my face. I do. I want to have egg on my face and hope that like, this is the 4D chest and everything like that. But I'm on Twitter, and I've only been on there for about 30 minutes to 45 minutes, and I'm seeing all these MAGA accounts who were no new wars, celebrating this new war. And people probably, oh, you're a Democrat. No, I'm not a Democrat. I don't like the Democrats either. I don't like either side. I don't think either side represents me at all. This is where, even though I don't like a lot of things Nick Fuentes says, I like a lot of things he says. I really thought that Trump was the chosen one. He defied all odds, and because he shouldn't be here right now. That bullet, I don't think that was a staged event. I don't believe into I'm so conspiracy theory fatigued at this point. Then, MAGA or whoever's coming out, well, the Jim Carrey's a fake, a clone. Maybe, I don't know. I just need some proof. Man, I don't... He's a weird guy. He probably had plastic surgery like the rest of Hollywood does. Maybe he's on Ozempic. I don't know. But like I said, I hope I have egg on my face with this, and I'm just sick and tired. Like, I don't know why we're there in the Middle East because of Israel. Why do we have to continue to have bases in the Middle East? Like, we have oil here. Canada has oil. We have tons of oil. We don't need to be in the Middle East. We don't need to be making Saudi Arabia richer or Qatar or any of these other Islamic states more rich. And let me get something clear too. Just because I have a problem with Israel and the Jews doesn't mean I have a problem, doesn't mean I like the Muslims, because I despise them too. I despise them both. But it's like, you live your life how you want to live. Just keep that crap away from me. No, I'm not for, like, genocide like Israel just did. Iran, when they genocided their own people. I'm not for that. But we can't afford this. We literally can't afford this. We're about 38, going on 39 trillion in debt. We're probably going to end up at like 60 trillion. There's some estimates in about 5 or 10 years. Social Security, people are about to take huge losses on their Social Security checks in about 5 or 7 years. You're not going to get the full benefits. What am I paying for in that system? I'm constantly having to deal with inflation. I don't think I think our dollar is the problem. I just think that it not only oppresses the whole world, but it oppresses its own people like me as well. And it causes resentment towards the rich. I've said I hate rich people, and I do at this point, and I don't want to. But it's like they don't recognize what the everyday person is going through. And we need some stability. We need some economic stability. We don't need more turmoil. We don't need any more recessions. We want to think like I remember when I was younger and that Big Ward was talking about this. He was talking about being on a date with a woman or something like that, and she was like, "What do you see yourself in 5 years?" He's like, I used to think like, this was a thing. Where do you see yourself in 20 years? Dude, where do I see myself in 6 months? Okay, I can't think 5 years ahead. With AI and everything changing so rapidly. You know what I don't see changing? The oppression on me. That's what I don't see changing. I don't see either side representing me at all when it comes to politics. The Democrats are actively trying to destroy our country, and the Republicans just lie at this point. And I despise them both. Neither side represent me, and I don't care about the SAFE Act. I don't. Why would I care about voting at this point? I'm not going to vote anymore. Like, what's the Republicans' message? It's so funny. I've seen somebody say this on Twitter. What's the Republicans' message at this point for the midterms? Oh, you don't want the Democrats back in? That's like the same thing that like the Democrats are using. You don't want Trump in there. It's a joke, man. It's all a joke. They don't run on anything. They don't solve any problems. And in fact, I think they create more problems than they solve. I was under the impression, like, at one point that Trump would be a good emperor, but I'm not sure about that at this point. And I hope I'm wrong. I don't think that our government works anymore. I think that they're inept. They're incompetent people. They go in there for popularity. They just try to get clicks and views, just like any other type of YouTuber or streamer. I think they're sold out to the big corporations. The big corporations and the rich people really run everything. And how can we compete with that? How can I compete starting a new business or anything like that? Anyway, I feel stuck. I've felt stuck for a while. Not only in my own personal life when it comes to trying to get ahead for the American dream. And, I have skills. They might not be like the most greatest skills, but like I work real jobs. I've worked real jobs for probably the last 23 years of my life. Forklift driving is a skill. It might not be the greatest skill or whatever, but it is a skill. It's not like, should I be farther ahead in life? There's some mistakes that I've had personally for sure. And I take accountability, but should I be oppressed for the rest of my life because of them? No. Especially when I am trying to do the right things. I go to work. I work 40 hours a week, man. 40 hours a week. Should garner me a good life. And, people, oh, you have this. You have something to sit on. Like, yes, correct. And I live in a civilized society as well. So, like, this kind of goes hand in hand. I don't live in those third world countries. So, like, I appreciate the modern luxuries I do have. But with that being said, you know, I appreciate running water. I appreciate being able to wash my clothes right now, having food in my belly, being able to say this without being killed by a communist or a Nazi. I have a video game. I got a nice TV. I appreciate these things. But it's like, it's not like I haven't been struggling. You know, it's not like I'm sitting here living the life I want to live. I don't like to just go to work and go home. That's it. I like to go do things. I want to be able to participate in the economy, you know, and I feel like I can't. I have to always watch my money. I always have to watch my money. We don't have pensions no more. 401ks are a joke. Everything's so wonky. What do you invest in? What do you invest in? It's like, honestly, like everything with investing is like gambling. Everything's just gambling at this point. And the people behind the scenes control it all. So like they manipulate, they control, you know, people are saying stuff about the NFL is rigged. It's like that, man. I don't know if the NFL is rigged. It could be, you know, but do I think it is? Probably not. But I do think that they do rig the system and the markets in their favor to gain as much as they can out of us. You know, I want us to be peaceful people. I want us to elevate, you know, world peace. And yeah, we can't sit here and let tyrants or people just invade us and do nothing. You know, we have to defend ourselves. At this point, I don't see what Israel has done to warrant us attacking them. I don't see what they have done to us directly. Now, Trump named all this stuff off, which they've done horrible things, you know, and we've been affected, but why are we over there in the first place? Oh, because of Israel. Oh, okay. Well, what is Israel going to do? Oh, we're going to nuke? Then nuke. Launch your nukes, bitches. Like, at this point, I don't care if a nuke, if we have a nuclear war. I just hope one lands on top of me so I don't have to survive. Because I'm tired of this. Am I somebody that's going to hurt myself? Am I suicide? No, I'm not. I'm just tired of this shit, man. I'm tired of working for feels like nothing. I'm tired of seeing all these rich people live it up and do good. I'm tired of women not liking me. I have so much to offer, man. I have so much to offer a woman. And at this point, I just want one woman. I don't want to date a bunch of women. I don't want to have a harem of women. I just want one woman, but they don't like me. So, like, it's so demoralizing as a man when women don't like you anymore. And it's not just me. There's a lot of men that feel the same way as me. Whether it's like the women only like the top 10% of men or whatever now. You know. And people and men like me are all just left out. It is what it is. I'm not gonna date somebody or marry somebody that's like, that doesn't care about herself. So, I need to be motivated. You know what I mean? So like, I'm not going to date or marry an obese woman. It is what it is. I'm not attracted to that. Be friends, but that's about it. So it's demotivating being an American on so many different levels, to be honest. And it doesn't feel like the American dream. You know, there's more people selling homes than there is buyers at this point. We can't buy homes. How can we buy homes? And then I hear the people on the right, oh, people are having kids. Yeah, what do people want to have kids for? So they can be raised in a Section 8 housing or in some type of small apartment. You know, economically, it's so hard for people to get by, and I hear these people on the right, oh, you know, if you work fast food, it shouldn't be a livable wage. Oh, you gotta pay $23 for a hamburger. Well, then they shouldn't be in business, should they? Or they should have AI or robots doing that job, shouldn't they? You know, I don't believe in slave labor. I don't believe in it. And this is why I disagree with it. I don't like the Democrats when they want to bring illegals in here and sentence them to indentured servitude, basically, slavery. Republicans are just as bad. Oh, my small business can't stay afloat unless I have people working for nothing. Yeah, capitalism can succeed and be very valuable, but we don't live in a capitalist system. I don't. Rich people do. I don't. All my bills, all my money goes to bills, and I should feel lucky for that, right? I should feel lucky I don't go in for. I'm like trying. I'm already in debt. I think a lot of us are in debt. Credit cards are the highest it's ever been. And it's mostly people at my level. We're indentured servitudes. We're indebted slaves to who? To the elites. Because they have assets they shielded themselves from this. We're relying on the dollar. Then we have programming, buy this, buy that. And people were like, oh, why are you addicted? Why are you fat? Why are you depressed? Why are you this? Why are you that? Because you've been programmed to be it. You're inundated with ads all the time. This nice juicy burger. Oh, that looks good. I'm going to go get that. Or people just being, you know, with all this innovation, life should be easier. We should feel like we have more time. We should feel like we have more time to cook for ourselves. A lot of people feel like they have to go get fast food because they, you know, at the end of the day, I look at that and I'm like, you probably could have cooked yourself some, the same. People look at it because they don't want to clean up too. So not only, so they'd rather sit in a fast food line, and for the time it would take, you know, to cook their own meal, they would rather do that. They think it's a little bit, it might save a little bit of time because they don't have to do the dishes. That's about it. But like to cook your own meal, to have to go there, to spend the gas, to sit in your line, you might get it wrong. You don't know. And the funny thing is, these Republicans who sit here and say, oh, it's a kid, they shouldn't get paid shit. It's like, yeah, it was intended, you know, 50 years ago, but it's not that anymore. It's not a big slice, but it's a decent slice of our economic, you know. I think that, was it like 19%, I think Rock said, of our, you know, jobs like this. You know, you got movie theater, stuff like that as well. We're a service-based economy. We don't really make stuff like we used to. I think it said like 76% service-based economy, but fast food is something like 0.7% of that, or something like that. I don't know, 0.07. I don't know. Still small, but it's still significant of our economy, because our economy is huge. So it might seem small, but it's still a large part of our economy. It's a good chunk. When you look at the grand scale of our economy and the GDP and everything like that, you're talking about trillions of dollars. They bring in billions of dollars and they don't want to pay their people. So Republicans want, when people go to work for fast food or whatever, they want only kids to do these jobs, or part-timers, but then they don't realize, like, who's going to do these jobs when these kids are in school. Some of these places are open all night. Like, is there gonna be 14, 16-year-olds working these jobs at 3 in the morning when they have to go to school the next day? You know, it's just ridiculous, their thought process. And then they're like, oh, you don't get paid in much. You're upset. You're working this job for not getting paid shit. You don't have health insurance. They don't give you the hours you need anyway. You know what I mean? Your hours are not guaranteed. And they're just basically using you as slave labor. And these people on the right, they're like, oh, they shouldn't be subsidized. You know, they shouldn't get free health care. They shouldn't get any of this. But the company shouldn't have to pay for it either. Listen, man. If you work 40 hours a week for a company, you should have a livable wage. You should have, you know, this. Part of the problem is there's women in the workforce as well. And our government taxes us to death as well. So like we're being taxed on so many different levels. I gotta pay property tax on my vehicle. I own my vehicle. I own my vehicle. Some of the states, yeah, you don't have to pay property tax. Then they get you on, you know, registration. When I had my truck that I was leasing and I moved to Washington State, I had to pay like almost $700 to get that thing registered there. Probably like $300 a year, something like that, maybe. I think that's kind of standard. They want you to pay like $300 a year to register your vehicle, and it's like, dude, fuck you, man, fuck you. And for what? We're funding a school system that indoctrinates kids, makes them radical, makes them hate people, makes them hate America. I don't agree with either side, man. I don't agree. I think both sides. I can criticize both sides. Neither side represents me. This whole war with Iran, I hope it's quick. He's already made his move. We'll see what China and Russia wants to do. I'm pretty sure Russia isn't too happy with this. You know, how can we sit here and tell, like, have we stopped that war with Russia and Ukraine? No, we haven't stopped that. Oh, Trump, I'm going to stop that day one. Have you stopped it? No. How can we justify telling China not to take over Taiwan at this point? Like, who are we? We're hypocrites. Now, you know, it's different reasons. They're doing it for economic reasons, and we're just doing it to help out Israel. Just the same as always. When is we going to stop with Israel? When are they going to be? Are they like the 51st state? You know, why are we so? We're their greatest ally, not the other way around. I feel like they're our greatest enemy. They're like that, you know, little punk that runs his mouth at school, and you know, you're that biggest dude in school that everyone's intimidated by, and they're always running their mouth to everybody, and then you have to come in there and save their ass. That's what we basically are. And it's like they control us. It's almost like they're a little woman. They're a little they're like a little 5 foot nothing woman that's our girlfriend in school. Really tiny. We're big fucking jock, big offensive lineman, big linebacker. Everyone respects, everyone loves. Not everybody. I don't think that everyone loves us and respects us at this point, but you get what I'm saying. They do respect us. We are respected. Even they might not love us, but we are respected. Um, she's always running her mouth, and we always have to go in there and save her ass. That's basically what she's controlling us. Like, why do they control us? They're the chosen ones. They're not the chosen ones. They're liars. They're deceivers. And that's what I think about the Republican Party. I don't want to fucking reform that thing. I want it to fucking be burnt to the ground. I want the Democrats to be burnt to the ground. Neither one represents America. They don't care about our country. They say they do, they don't. They just lie. Just blatant lies. Both sides, blatant lies. And I fell for it. I thought this was it. I was like, oh, this is going to be it. I fell for it. I was duped. I'm a sucker. It's just like me being in the working class, me working, living basically the same life as somebody on welfare. The difference is I live in a little bit better of a place than they would. But still, it's still struggle, still feel poor as fuck. I feel so fucking poor, and I felt so poor for the longest time, and it's like, why do I it's not like I'm out here, I made some mistakes, no doubt. My ex-fiance, I should never bought her a $5,000 ring at the time. This was in 2011 and 12, and I should have never done that. So that was a lot of money. Then was that to nowadays? What is that? Probably like 15 grand. Took it out on credit too. Stupid. My DUI. I got all my credit before. I got my DUI when I was 30, and I got all my credit. I got all my debt gone, and ever since I got my DUI, I've been a debt slave, trying to juggle shit, trying to do whatever I could to survive, taking on debt if I have to survive. But what's the end game? Since I won't get Social Security when I'm older, and I have to keep paying into it, don't own a home, don't have any type of. I do want to own. I would like to own a home, but it's not feasible. And that's how the young people feel. The young people feel how I feel right now. And this is why I kind of feel like I speak for them to some degree, even though I'm an old man. But I do relate to them, Gen Z a little bit, for the economic reasons and isolation, lack of support. The boomers are a joke. Gen X is a joke. Everyone's so afraid of, fuck Gen X. What the fuck are you guys gonna do? Gen X ain't shit. Gen X are basically turning into boomers. Okay? Everyone's so afraid of Gen X. Fuck Gen X, man. Gen X ain't no better than fucking boomers. In fact, they're probably pussies. And I'm like the baby Gen X. Well, fucking pussies, man. I just seen a video of Mitch McConnell being wheelchaired in the fucking. What the fuck? What a joke. We got these prehistoric dinosaurs in charge, in power. We're literally gonna have these motherfuckers that are in hospice voting and shit. They're just gonna be lying in a bed in hospice, winning elections. It's a joke. We're a joke. These people need to get the fuck out of office or being occupied. Left or right, these old people need to get the fuck out of here. Look at Trump. Needs to get the fuck out of here. He's old as fuck. I thought he was different. I was like, okay, he seems more pragmatic. He's kind of out of touch, but he seems like he's, I disagreed with him about the dollar, and because about Bitcoin, he was all about, he didn't like Bitcoin. And then he changed his stance. And that's why I'm like, okay, he changed his stance on things. He can be pragmatic. He is a pragmatic person, but he's still old as fuck. And that is something that I don't like. We had Joe Biden old as fuck. Kamala, dude, she's dumb as fuck. You know what I mean? She's what, 50s and whatever, but she's not too old. But we need to get these old fucks out of office. They they don't do anything for us. But we'll see. Maybe I'll have egg on my face. I hope I do. I hope that Trump's like, oh, this is just a quick thing, this doesn't turn into like Iraq while we're sitting there wasting money. 5 trillion. We wasted 5 trillion on that shit. 1 million Iraqis lost their lives because of that. Was it tens of thousands of American soldiers lost their lives because of that? Oh, weapons of mass destruction, which they never found. Now it's, oh, we don't want Iran to have a nuclear weapon. Dude, they're not going to hit us. Okay? Jeez, it's so dumb. Do you have any proof that they're trying to hit us with a nuclear weapon, or they're capable? It's ridiculous. Like, I feel like we're the terrorists. I feel like America are the terrorists. I feel like we terrorize. Now, when I look at somebody like Venezuela, the leader of Venezuela, he got kidnapped. I'm like, that's it. No lives were taken. No equipment was destroyed. Okay, he was a piece of shit. Cool, got rid of him. Hopefully, they can be more free. But I'm not somebody that's like, oh, we can't have. Sometimes we have to. Sometimes we have to do things and to defend ourselves. But this is why I have weapons. I got guns. I got. I got like knives and stuff. I go out hiking or something. I'm bringing this with me. So if I get attacked by a mountain lion or something, I'll have a better chance of surviving with self-defense. Now, I'm not going out trying to kill mountain lions, but if one attacks me, I want to be able, because it'll kill me. It'll have a good chance. It'll fuck me up pretty good, and I have guns for self-defense purposes. That's it. Not because I want to go out and hurt any animal or anybody. If somebody breaks in my house, I don't know what you're doing. I'm going to defend myself. So self-defense is completely different than just like continuing on with this war. Continuing with the war. So stupid. So stupid. War machine. And the funny thing too, when they were debating, they were talking about, oh, the war machine helps you out economically. Like, killing people, death and destruction helps our economy. Think about that. Think about that. Death, blowing people up, helps our economy. That's fucked. That's fucked up. Like I said, defending ourselves is one thing, but we need to stop. We need to stop. If something's happening and collectively they're like, hey, we need to do something, the world's like, hey, then we can go help them, but we need to stop. We need to stop being the world police, man. How are we going to be the world police when we can't even police our own fucking place? We just had the Democrats let in all these people, all these illegals. How many of those illegals that came in were terrorists? How many terrorist cells are here now because of the Democrats? And we're going to war with Iran. I would definitely, especially if you're in a big city, I would definitely, if I was in a big city, I'd probably keep my head on a swivel for sure, and I probably wouldn't be going anywhere for a while. Just wherever you have to go back home to work. That's it. I wouldn't be going out, going to clubs, going to sporting events, going to stores. And I would limit my exposure to the stores. Um, just for the possibility of terrorist threats. Wherever there's a lot of people congregating, that's where I would avoid, because that's where these terrorists they're gonna hit. They want to try to kill as many people as possible. So you know, not that I'm safe in a small town, but I feel I'm a little bit more safer than a big city. I don't think that they really want to. They could, but yeah, if I was a terrorist organization or another country and I wanted to have sleeper cells come in, I would think the Democrats, because hey, let whoever in, you know what I mean? Like, and we didn't really deport anybody. Thanks, Trump. Another lie. Uh, we should be deporting. We should have had millions of people deported at this point. We haven't, and he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to deport illegals. He's already stated it. Oh, luxury, or like it'll affect our economy. They don't care about slavery. They don't care. They don't care. No, I get it. The economy's like, we're all like tangled in all this shit. But what about the people who came here illegally? What about the people who are trying to come here illegally? What about the people on welfare? Like, we got a ton of people on welfare, man. Put their ass to work. It's just, not everyone on welfare can work because they're disabled. And they are trying to be fair, trying to put some of these people back to work. And some of these people on welfare, because there used to be one, work a full-time job. It's just these companies don't want to pay them enough, so they are subsidized. So to be fair, that is happening as well. But there are people who are just trying to abuse the system. I mean, look, we got all these people in prison. What are they doing in prison? Just sitting behind a jail cell? Put their ass to work. I don't know what to tell you. Why are we funding these people? Like, they need to give back. The American dream. The American dream, what is it? There's an American dream if you're rich. If you're poor like me, you're fucked. And what do? None of these people who go to war, none of these presidents who go to war go on the battlefield themselves. They're fucking cowards. They need to get on the front lines. No, they use poor people. They use my kids. They economically force our kids into the military because there's nothing else for them to do. There's no good job. So they're like, okay, I'll just join the military. And then they send them to fucking die. Their kids aren't, I wrote the song Warmonger. Look it up. Rich people, their kids are immune. Politicians' kids, they're not going to go to the fucking front lines. Back in the day, we actually had baseball players, famous baseball players who went to war. World War II. Do they do that now? No. They just use us as cannon fodder. Fuck you. Fuck you, elites. Fuck all of you. I hate you. What, the next life isn't going to be good for you. You know, this life you guys can live it up. The next life is going to be extremely hard. If I was a rich person, I would definitely try to give back as much as possible. I really would. I really would. But I wouldn't want to be rich. Honestly, like I want to live a comfortable lifestyle, but I would not want to be rich nowadays. And this is just my observation, but like, dude, you're just making yourself to be a target, man. People, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen when, you know, AI is taking all these jobs and all these people who got laid off get bailed out, or they get put on UBI, and people like me have to keep working for nothing? What's gonna happen? We're just gonna stop working. That's what's gonna happen. Fuck you. Fuck you. Then the whole system can come crash and fuck your economy. That's what's gonna happen. These people have been living nice lifestyles, doing nothing while we've been toiling in the fucking fields, creating shit, making this whole motherfucker run, while the elites keep taking from us. There's not. What else can you take? You taking my health insurance. I don't have health insurance anymore. And they're more worried about Iran. I'm actually a vital asset to this country. Probably, I'm more important than you celebrities and you fucking popular people on the internet. I'm more important. We all are, at my level, are more important than you. You're fucking useless. You're a fucking parasite. You don't contribute shit. Oh, we entertain. There's tons of entertainment. We have infinite entertainment. We have so much entertainment. But we don't have a lot of people like me out here getting our fucking hands dirty. Getting grease all over our fucking hands. Getting grease all over our fucking clothes. Working for nothing. Go ahead, bail them out. Bail them out, government. Put them on UBI before us and keep us enslaved. Do you think we're going to keep on working? Fucking retards. It's a fucking joke. Everything nowadays is a fucking joke. Social media is a fucking joke. Our whole system is a joke. Politicians, left, right, you're fucking jokes. Us going to war with Iran is a fucking joke. Our whole economic system's a fucking joke. I understand why I'm suppressed. I get it. I get it right now. You want people to stay asleep. You want people to have their eyes covered. You don't want them to see behind the curtain what I'm trying to show people. I get it. That's why I'm suppressed. I am suppressed, by the way. Just look at my numbers. Oh, you got 13,000 people following you on Twitter, and you only have like 200 impressions on a post, or 150 or 100. Yeah, why is that? Why is that? There's a reason for that. And I don't think it's because I suck. Some of the things I say sucks, but because I'm not perfect, but there's no reason why I shouldn't have a bigger reach. But it is what it is. And that's not what this is about. This is about us going to another fucking war. And who knows how long, and we can't even fucking afford it. Just gonna get harder on people like me. Like, okay, man. Okay. Or well, we're gonna have a we're gonna have an economic collapse, and we fucking deserve it. We deserve it. We don't deserve. Well, this is a golden age. Yeah, this is the golden age. Fucking golden age, my ass. Just spent the last year suffering because of these tariffs, all to be undone because of Trump's and his administration being incompetent and not putting the correct tariffs on there, paving the way for these corporations who have been charging us, keeping the prices high, not paying us shit to get all that money back that they got from the tariffs. And we have to keep going. We have to. It's almost like a reset. I don't believe anything he says. Oh, some, because not all the companies. Some of the, no, they're probably going to come and get their shit back. And who suffers? Us, the poor people. That's who always suffers. There'll be another Hitler type of person who rises. Don't know who it's going to be. We don't know. It's not going to be the same Nazi, but we are in similar times before Hitler took over. And I don't know what that means. Maybe it's the Antichrist. I don't know. But whatever we've been doing is not working. And the rich people benefit always. Rich always win. They win every fucking time. Every single time they win. And people like me get squashed. And we have to keep fighting and keep pushing forward. And I'm tired. I'm fucking tired. I like to work. I don't mind. I don't like to work, but I don't mind working. But I want a payoff. I want a reward. Where is the fucking reward? You know. If I understand, like, I'm a little bit overweight, but I'm not that bad. I'm not too bad, and I definitely want to work on it. Women want nothing to do with me. Where is my incentive to keep fighting? Aaron Clary is 100% correct. What fuels our economy is sex from men. Is the sexual, like, the thought that we're going to get that reward. We don't get it anymore. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm an incel. I'm in boat by myself. When we don't have that reward or the possibility of it, at least a possibility, we lose fucking hope. We don't want to fucking do shit. We get in despair. And I look at the current state of women and it's like, even if they were interested in me, even if they did like me, like, I don't want to be a cuck. I don't want to be a cuck. I don't want my woman out here talking to a bunch of other guys. I don't want her having, like, backup plans. I don't have a backup plan. I don't want you having a backup plan. I'm not going to be used and abused and thrown away. I'm not going to deal with that shit. We have a shitty fucking deal as men nowadays. What are we fighting? What are we pushing for? For the war machine? I hope I'm wrong. I hope Trump proves me wrong. I hope I have egg on my face, but I don't think so.